Welcome back, dear ones. Now, how can we get out of this 3D matrix? For many people, for most people, this particular time on earth right now is a really difficult time because there seems to be danger and falseness and misinformation everywhere. And everything, for many people, seems to feel off. There's something not right about what is going on. And it puts people into fear because they don't know how to deal with it, because they don't know what they're dealing with. And if you're trying to solve this or sort this while staying in the 3D matrix, in 3D consciousness, let's say, in the illusionary creation of this reality, as long as we stay in this, we cannot move beyond the fear. We cannot move into freedom and see what is going on and be able to maneuver and prepare and deal with it peacefully and appropriately and mindfully. We can't do that as long as we're stuck in this. And so that's a question many of you have. How can I get out of this illusion? How can I get out of this reality? Because it feels and seems and looks so real. It feels so real. It's like, this is my life, and I need to protect this life, and I need to protect those around me. And it's all so serious and heavy and real. And while this is true on one level, it is only true as long as you stay in the level. This means that moving out of the matrix comes back to our choices. We do have a choice in relation to how we view the world, how we view life, what perspective we're taking. And shifting from 3D consciousness, where we are stuck in this world, dealing with the issues that we're dealing with on a global scale, on a personal scale, shifting from that into a 5D consciousness where we see the bigger picture, where things make a lot more sense and are a lot more peaceful, a lot more loving, harmonic, conscious, aware. Shifting from here to there requires, first of all, from us a decision that we want that. And now many of you would say, I truly, truly do, and I try this every day, but the reality is in my face. Let's face it, the reality is in all of our faces every day. If we, and as long as we believe that this is true, if we believe this is reality, we cannot move beyond it. So the first decision is, yes, I want to move beyond 3D reality. I want to move into expanded consciousness. I want to leave this matrix. The next step is, you need to stop living as if this matrix was real. As long as you get up every morning, do the same things every day, like plug yourself into the collective consciousness of humanity. You get up, you have the same morning routine, you go in your same mindset, consciousness state throughout your day, and that's how you go to bed. You're not changing your state of awareness. You're not changing anything because you're living in the matrix, and you're living as if the matrix was real. And you look at things and you say, but this is what's happening. That's where the war is. That's where the health issues are. That's where the climate issues are. And that's all the stuff that's there. So how can we say it's not real? Well, if you acknowledge, like the title says in the video, if you acknowledge that this is a type of matrix, a type of creation by consciousness that we live in, but we can choose to live in a different way of created consciousness, created illusion if you want, or less of an illusion, more of truth. it requires that we actually accept, okay, this is not the reality. This is not as real as I think it is, or as real in the way and the sense I was taught and was made to believe that it is. It is only one way of experiencing. One way of experiencing what I'm experiencing. And I get to choose, is this what I want or not? But you need to make a decision to stop living as if the matrix was real and as if you were still part of the matrix, if you want to move beyond it. And so you need to change aspects in your life that keep you plugged into the matrix, that keep you hooked and engulfed in the matrix. You cannot do your daily things that you have been doing while living in the matrix, continue to do them and wanting to be elsewhere. This doesn't work. It doesn't work. You need to step outside. And yes, the outside may be the unknown, right? Like in the movie The Matrix. And it may be uncomfortable at first to leave the matrix. But if this is what you truly want, because you feel that the truth lies beyond this illusion, and this illusion actually is here for me to create what I want to create from my 5D consciousness, from my higher self, from my expanded loving light beingness, then this is what you get to do. But you cannot do it as long as you acknowledge this is reality, the matrix is real. No, it's not. It's not. It's one form of creation and one perspective that we can take. So the next step then would be change your routines. Start living. If you say, I find it so difficult to leave the matrix because it's there all the time. I see it all the time. I feel it. I experience it with people, with the situations, with the information. It's all so tangible. It's all so real. Then I invite you to, yes, it feels real. And this gives you the illusion that that's my reality and that's the only reality. You know there is more though. So use your intention, your knowingness to say, okay, it feels so real, it seems so real, and I cannot escape this right now. I cannot pretend it's different than from what I think is real, because I'm still plugged into the matrix consciousness. So I invite you to go about this in a different way. Don't resist this kind of feeling or thought pattern, but start acting as if you were living in a matrix. Start acting as if you accepted the fact that this is an illusion, and that the truth about us, the truth about life, the truth about everything is so much greater than what we see, what we feel, what we hear, what is tangible in this world. Start living as if, whatever this means in your life, whatever you see, a person who knows this isn't real does not get caught into or sucked into the drama. So let's say you have an argument or a talk or a discussion which may lead into an argument. If you're fully in 3D, if you're fully hooked into the consciousness of 3D awareness, you will get into this, you will say what you're saying because of your patterns, because of your conditioning, and this will be played out, right? In the matrix, in the illusion, here on earth. But if you look at it from the outside in, saying, okay, if this is an illusion and I get to create it from a different vantage point, from a different perspective, then I look at the situation, let's say the talk, the discussion that might cause an argument, and then you see, my avatar, my person in the play, in the illusion, is about to get sucked into the drama. And then you decide, do I want to experience it from the person's point of view, from my identified point of view, and get into the drama and live the emotions and make my point and so on? You choose. Or you say, no, I don't actually need this. So you guide your little self, your avatar, and you say, look, this is all just an illusion. Let the other one be right. Who cares? Because what we want to live is kindness, is understanding, is wisdom. So we're not sacrificing our kindness and gentleness and compassion and wisdom for being right. Because that's 5D consciousness. That is out of the matrix consciousness. In the matrix, you would be in it and you would want to be right. But outside of the matrix, you see what's going on, and it's like, okay, this is a battle about who is right and who's wrong. I don't need to win this battle, because what's more important to me is to feel kind and to feel that I am me and not I'm playing some kind of program or replaying some kind of program. And so you act as if you were living in 5D consciousness. Now, this also means you need to be aware and you need to know what is 5D consciousness. How does a person who's unplugged from the matrix, who is not getting caught up in fear cycles, in false information cycles, in correct information cycles, in any of this, how does a person live and act in this world? And so you train yourself to do that. And this requires of you to ask yourself every day, how do I want to be? Who do I want to be? How do I want to live? Who do I want to live as? Do I want to live as this 3D version of me? Or do I want to live as my higher self version of me? As in my expanded version. And this expanded version, what does this look like? Well, a lot more like my true self. As in compassionate, loving, joyful, easy, playful, kind, gentle, happy, peaceful. That's me. And that's what I want to live as. And the 3D matrix will challenge you and will possibly not allow you to live in these states for long. But the 5D consciousness, that's the state you're in when you're in 5D. That's the state you're in when you're not plugged into and hooked into this matrix any longer. And if this is what you long for, then make the decision, acknowledge and accept for yourself as truth that this is a matrix, this is a hologram, this is an illusion, this is a playing field that you get to play, but you get to choose how you play, whether you're totally identified with the character, whether you play from the player's point of view, from the higher self point of view, you get to choose. And if your choice is, I don't want to stay caught up in this illusion any longer, I want to have the broader perspective, I want to stay peaceful, I want to stay sovereign, I want to stay in love and light consciousness, then you do that. And if you say, I see this every day and it's so hard to untrain your habits. Untrain your habits that keep you still caught in this cycle or in this level and frequency of the consciousness. So change your habits. So develop, that's really what it means, develop habits that would support your higher self version of you, your 5D version of you. Right? So the qualities that you would have as a 5D being, as somebody who's free from this matrix, as somebody who has the higher perspective, as somebody who's free. How would a free person, not being tied down by any restraints from this 3D world, how would a free person or a free soul live in a human body? What would be important? What would they want to do? And then start living from that. So if this is an illusion and if I'm so much more, how, if that is my truth, how do I live? What would I do? And then you practice this, and after a while, even though you may not think it at the start because the matrix still feels so real, after a while, this new way of thinking, feeling, approaching everything from the higher viewpoint, that will be your new state of being. And you will not respond with fear when you hear something out there. The fear response won't be there any longer, because that belongs to the matrix, to the 3D consciousness field. You will not be able to access that if you have a higher vibration, if you are in the 5D consciousness field. And so this is what it is. It's you're leaving one field and expanding into another, and that has a higher vibration, a higher frequency, so that you will also no longer, after a while, view this as reality, because you will sense the broader picture, the more real reality as your truth. And this becomes one fragment of it. And it becomes a playing field where you can bring your consciousness into, you can focus your consciousness into this being, into this incarnated human, and express your consciousness through it. And that way, we raise the vibration of the whole planet. We raise the vibration and the consciousness of humanity. And this is what this shift from 3D, from the matrix, believe in the matrix, into 5D collectively will look like, by each and every one awakening to the fact that this is an illusion, and then starting to live as if this was so, and what that would mean. Step by step by step. And it's a process, and it's work, and it needs dedication. Now, for some people, it can be in an instant. For most people, this is what it will look like, because the matrix is persistent. It will draw you back in every day. It's like, but I can see that there's not enough money in my account, but I can see that my boss is this way, but I can see that my relationships are not working out. It's all so real. Yes, it may feel this way. But you in 5D consciousness see, oh, I have actually lived a life where my relationships don't work. Right. And I've created this work situation where my boss is absolutely not my cup of tea. Okay. And I have, you view this, but from a higher perspective. Because that's just what it looks like in the matrix. And now you get to elevate yourself and say, right, my true self creates relationships that are authentic, that are deep, that are inspired by spirit, that are so infused by love and by kindness and by connectedness. Wow, yes, this is what feels right. And so far, I've been stuck in the 3D consciousness, because most people don't seem to have any type of relationship like that I feel is possible. But this is the 5D thing. This is the next level that is waiting for you. So start by making the decision and then living as if. And whenever this world presents itself so strongly as reality, come back to you and say, you're doing a good job, 3D world, getting us to believe this is real so we can have our experiences. There's nothing wrong with this 3D world. It's perfect for what we want to do, because what we want to do is make a choice to move beyond, to expand into who we are, to be more the light, the consciousness, the love, the wisdom, the compassion, the joy. And this 3D world asks us to make that choice. We constantly have to choose. It's a world of duality and polarity. And once you leave that and you move beyond, you will see that this world of duality and polarity is perfect to make the choice every single day, in every situation. Do I choose love? Do I choose freedom? Do I choose spirit? Do I choose my higher self? Do I choose the divine? Do I choose the truth? Or do I choose the opposite? Do I choose suppression? Do I choose selfishness? Do I choose separateness? We get to choose, and this is why this world, this matrix, it's not bad. It's not something we need to escape because it's bad. It's something we get to transcend because we realize it's only an illusion that asked of us to make the choice to transcend it. We're saying, yes, I'm ready to transcend. I'm using the life experiences I have in this dual world to always bring every experience back into unity consciousness, seeing it from the unity consciousness point of view, seeing what I can learn from this and carry it into unity, carrying it into oneness. No judgment. The judgment is always attached to 3D consciousness. 5D consciousness, higher consciousness, doesn't have that, sees the perfection in what is happening because it asks the duality, it asks of us to make a choice. And this is our main job down here on earth, in all the incarnations, to choose unity or separation, to choose the positive path or the negative path. Both are equally fine. But this is why we're here in the third dimension. That's what it's about. Or the third density, whichever way you would want to call it. That is what it is about. So it's perfect for this. And from your 5D consciousness level, you see the perfection and you admire it. You love it. You do no longer curse and judge and dismiss the matrix and wish it wasn't there and think it's an oppressive thing. It's not. We, as part of the divine source, put that in place for experiences, for making choices, for having the opportunity to make choices. Because in unity, in source, you don't have that. There is only unity. All is one. It's all one. So this world, this matrix, gives us the opportunity to make our choice and then to also transcend this world while we can still live in it. And with this transcendence comes a love for this world that will lift the world up, that will lift the matrix up, because you see how perfect it is and how it is for us, not against us, how we created it, a different state of being, of course, how we created it for the evolution, for the expansion of consciousness itself, of awareness. So I hope this was helpful. I'm going to love you and leave you into 3D or 5D, whatever you choose. And we'll talk next time if you want to.